Hi there, thank you for viewing this week's video. Let's take a look at the indices and check out how they have performed and also the outlook for the upcoming week. First, let's do a quick discussion on the market performance. The US market begin with a positive movement until the CPI data whacked the whole week. The surprise rebound of the core CPI has the market fear that the Fed will be preparing a mammoth rate hike in the upcoming FOMC meeting. The announcement of FedEx added salt to the injury as the result indicate recessions may be here already. The demand for shipping is dropping fast and it's a warning sign. The Singapore market remains resilient as export grew 11.4% in August. Seng ignored its bullish reversal sign and good data from China to tumble down, breaking its supports along the way. So let's take a look at the performance chart on the screen right now. So you can see on the weekly basis, we have the US market tumble down with the Dow down about 4.2%, S&P 500 down about 4.8%, and the Nasdaq is the worst performing index with a 5.5% down. The STI is up about 0.1%, Hang Seng is down about 3.1%. So let's take a look at the charts, the technical chart starting with the Dow. So we have the Dow over here breaking its support level after the CPI data was announced. So the whole Dow crashed 1,200 points and then broke its support on Thursday night. And then Friday night, it went further down. So its next support over here is 30,139. And the glimmer of hope is that there is a hammer closing on Friday night, though it is not at the support level, but it still provides some ray, right? And this is what we are looking for is a positive closing next week so that it can suggest a potential rebound to cross above 31,048 points. Then it may have a chance to revisit this resistance at 32,506. All right, so well, as anticipated last week, it may test its resistance first before it pull back, and then it pull back too strongly than the liking. Okay, and the downtrend is on its way. If there's a failure in rebound next week, the downtrend will tend to continue as we see lower highs. Okay, so if next week is a dead cat bounce, so you probably bounce until here, then it start to pull back to this low again, and then we may see the support over here getting tested. But if the rebound is successful as the market cheer the FOMC outcome next week, then the retest of this resistance will help the market to change its trend. So let's see where the market is going to hit to next week. S&P 500 ended with a hammer as well, but it's below its support level. So its next key support level is 3,720. Its resistance now is at level 4119, which was anticipated that it may be tested. So it tested it and then it pulled back. So what is the next potential outcome for next week? Similar to the Dow, we want to see a rebound next week. So this rebound, where would it bring to bring S&P to? So if bring it to here to test 4119 again, we may see a change in trend. But if it's a dead cat bounce, halfway over here, then pull back, where break below its low again and go back to its support low over here, then the downtrends will continue with all the lower highs and lower lows. Yeah, Nasdaq yeah, is on a downtrend as well, but the good sign is that it has a hammer as well. It closed as a white hammer, and let's see whether the rebound happen next week, if there is any, where it would bring Nasdaq to. So if it only brings Nasdaq to this point and start to pull back again, of course, like the S&P 500 and Dow, it would continue its downtrend. But if we will be able to go to this resistance level at 12,264 thereabouts, then we may see some chance for it to change its trend. Okay, let's go to the Asia market, STI. So let's start with STI. We can see STI is still resilient, is still up there. And despite the, gapping down over here, it managed to cover the gap. So this gap over here is filled up, so to pave the way for potential upside if there is any. If it managed to continue higher, its resistance is right now at 3,297. But if it fail to go up and instead come back down to test this low at 3,241, then we may start a downtrend. Okay, we may go back to downtrend, I would say. Okay, because here we just, over here, let's draw this line over here. This is a downtrend line. Over here, we have just broken it and then move back into uptrend. But then if this is a short-lived swing and if swing back down again, then we have new lower highs and lower lows, then we may be seeing downtrend again. So all crucial next week. All right, let's take a look at the Hang Seng chart. What we see here is that Hang Seng opened the wick slightly higher but closed lower. So this is a first warning sign as it gapped down violently to test its support level over here. And the support managed to hold for 1 day, but after that it failed to hold and Hang Seng broke down eventually. So let's zoom in over here. You can see the support at 18,796. So we see Hang Seng close as an inverted hammer just below the support level. But whether this can be a real reversal sign, right? This is remain to be seen as Hang Seng need to fill up this gap in order to move up. Its immediate resistance right now becomes at 19,494. Okay, so if we see a strong rebound to push Hang Seng back to this 19,494, then we may have a change in trend. Then we could have a double bottom over here if it really hit this level. But if it's a dead cat bounce, then we see Hang Seng goes into the gap, halfway of the gap, fill up a little bit more, then push down back to this low and go back to this low again and break down to go to this 18,248 support level, which suggests, of course, indicate very strong downtrend with the lower highs and lower lows. Okay, so a very tough week ahead for Hang Seng, so do keep a lookout for this potential movement next week. What are we expecting next week is that FOMC next week is a big thing. Okay, so we are looking at FOMC on Wednesday announcement. So the interest rate projection, we are very near to, we are expecting the 0.75% next week or 0.75 basis points. So if they were to do that, then the interest rate is getting close to 4%. So if there's another rate hike in October, then we are looking at close to 5%. And that definitely, I think, will have a very strong impact to the economy, and recession is really going to be on the card. Hang Seng is going to announce their own CPI data, and then Singapore as well next week. So next week will be a challenging week, and see how the market digests the high projection on Wednesday. So Monday and Tuesday, we may see some market wobbling or some dead cat bounce. until Wednesday we see some clear indication of the interest rate projection, then we have a clear picture of where the market is going to head to. So next week, good luck to us all, and let's hope for the best. Okay, thank you for viewing this video. I will see you next week.